What does it feel like when the world changes overnight? Not metaphorically, not in some slow, decade long trip. I mean, in the span of a few hours on February 28, 2026, the entire strategic order of the Middle East was shattered and set on fire. Even experts who spend their lives watching this region didn't see the sheer speed and audacity of what happened. Today we are going to unpack the real history behind the 2026 crisis and why even in June 2026 the world remains on a knife edge. But before we start full story, hit the like button and share and subscribe the channel. To understand today, you must understand 1979. The structural antagonism between the US and Iran, often defined by the hostage crisis, created a cycle of existential threat. We trace this back through the failure of the 2015 nuclear deal and the 2018 US withdrawal, which pushed Iran to accelerate uranium enrichment to weapons grade level. By early 2026, diplomacy had essentially collapsed, leaving only one path open: military. Late January 2026 saw a massive US military buildup. Most analysts thought it was a bluff until February 28. Under Operation Epic Fury, the US and Israel launched a joint campaign. This wasn't just a surgical strike on a facility, it was an attempt to decapitate the Iranian state. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei was killed in the opening hours alongside dozens of senior IRGC commanders. It was the most significant escalation since the Gulf War. Iran's response was immediate and devastating. They just didn't strike back at regional bases. They closed the Strait of Hormuz, the world's most critical energy artery. Global markets plunged into chaos, food security was threatened, and diplomatic channels like Qatar were severe. Within a week, the Middle East wasn't just in a crisis, it was in a full-scale regional war involving Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthis in Yemen. By April 2026, Pakistan brokered a temporary ceasefire. But look closely at the headline from last week. It's failing. The US is calling for unconditional surrender, while Iran is using every drone launch and missile strike as a move in a desperate, multi-dimensional negotiation. The reality is that the ceasefire is merely a pause in the killing, not a path to peace. We often look at it as a game of chess, but that is a mistake. This is human chaos. Individual decisions made under pressure, fueled by pride and domestic political survival, have created a crisis that nobody intended and nobody fully controlled. The region is still burning, and the decisions made in the next few weeks will define the world for a generation. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching.